lessons today. Previously, we talked about the introduction of interview, what is a job interview, and so on. Right. So we continue our lessons today with the next topic, which is what is actually important documentation in job interview or job application. All right. This is three important documentation you need for job application. First is a cover letter or email, or cover email, we said it. All right, second is a resume. All right, as a fresh graduate you need a resume, and if you are experienced worker, all right, you can use curricula vitae. All right, this is actually example of cover letter or job application letter. All right, you start with job applicant, your name and full address, followed by date, and then employer's name, designation, address, and then you can use a salutation. Usually we use dear sir. All right, and then you can after salutation is actually the title of the letter. Usually you can say you can write application for the post. All right, application for the position of what, okay, depend on the job advertisement. And then you have to, the content of the letter, first you have to describe about where and when do you know about the job. Okay, for example, say with the reference of the above matter, I would like to submit my application in view of obtaining of position of a training manager, purchase and sale in your external organization. All right, and then after that you can talk about your academic qualification and job experience if you have, briefly on the second paragraph. All right, after that you have to describe or explain your positive quality, your attitude, and so on. For example, you said you have a good leadership and good communication skill. All right, it comes in the paragraph 3. Okay, paragraph 4 is actually you have to reveal on how you can be contacted, usually through a phone number or email later, the former one. And then the closure you have to use whether you're sincerely or you're faithfully, depend on whether you know or not. For example, you don't know the person in charge or the human resource manager, you don't know the name, you can use yours faithfully. If you know, for example, in this case Mr. Bernard Charles, all right, you can use yours sincerely. And then don't forget the signature and your full name. Okay, this is actually the format of a cover letter. Nowadays, most of the company they choose to use email or email cover letter. Okay, from the cover letter, it turns to email cover letter. So if you submit by using email, you don't need to provide the cover letter. All right, the format is quite similar. Okay, for example, you have to understand the function of this button. For example, to CC and BCC. So to is actually you put the email of the company. All right, format you can get from the website. And then the subject is very important because of because of thousands of job application will enter to the company website, sorry, company's email. So you have to write specifically. This is an example, very easy example, job application, okay, and then Susan Smith. Or maybe you can more specific on by saying that job application of what, the name of the post, and then your name. All right, and you can write dear hiring manager or dear human resource manager. All right, I am writing to express my interest in the web content manager. You have to say about why do you interested to apply for the job, and so on and so on. And then you can actually briefly explain about the qualities, what you have, and your academic qualification. And then you can write similar to the cover letter, yours sincerely or yours faithfully, and then your name and then the address. Okay, the format is quite different because of this is actually email, but then the content is quite similar. All right, so you can actually use the same content if you have to submit both. Okay, example of email cover letter. All right, so similar like a previous one, to the email uh, of the employer. All right, hiring manager and so on, and subject editorial manager, position Jane Doe. So the difference is these applicants just put the job's name or the position's name specifically, and then he put her name, and then he also attached the cover letter and also the resume because of maybe she is a fresh graduate. All right, the content is quite similar, and then you just say best regard Jane Doe and your email, mean how you can be contacted. All right, again, you have to explain the qualities of you and also your academic background or academic qualification. Cover letter or email cover letter, you also need to have resume. Resume is a formal document the job application create to describe in detail about his or her qualification for a position. All right. Usually, we accompany the cover letter which with sorry, is your resume actually accompanied by a cover letter? All right, whether you submit by using post or email. Okay, you will actually describe your uh, interest, in a specific position of a company and draws attention to the most relevant specific on the resume. All right, for fresh graduate, you should only provide one page only, okay, to be provided during the interview, and it basically should summarize your personal details, your education background, your experiences, the references, and how you can be contacted, because it make the employer easy to contact you after the interview to get to give the feedback. This is actually the first sample, sample A of resume. Abang Aiman bin Abang Abdul Halil. I personally really don't like this kind of resume because of it is crammed with word. It's not really friendly. Yes, it has pictures and all the aspect, but then it don't really highlight your strength as a candidate. Okay, I might say this actually all style of writing the resume. One I like this sample B because of it's not really crammed with word, and the way she arranged all the information is very useful, and it's very effective. First, she put the education first, all right, and then her experience in job, and he used actually I think star here the individual skill teamwork, how she actually rate his individual skill teamwork, discipline and communication. He put a reference below of the resume, and then the right side of her resume he put his brief profile and full address, number and email. Okay, I like this version better than previous one. All right, this is also quite interesting compared to the first one. Okay, the way he arranged resume is quite orderly and very interesting. All right, he put a contact number, email, and so on briefly here, and he put expertise, programming, data mining, and so on, statistic. All right, and then he put a profile at the first, sorry, his name at first, and then his brief profile, and then his education. Remember, if you are a diploma student, you don't need you to put your PMR or UPSR. Just put the two highest. In your case, as a diploma, you have to put your diploma and maybe your SPM. Okay, that's enough. Okay, and don't need to put all the qualification from your UPSR or maybe PMR. Just SPM and diploma, or maybe you can put your MUET result. Okay, and lastly, you can put your experience. In your case, if you have don't have any job experience, you can put your think co-curricular activities. Okay, maybe you involve in a club or society in college. You can put here experience to show that you have a good communication skill, maybe good leadership. All right, and then you don't have any problem with the crowd. Okay, and it's very suitable with your, sorry, with the position that you apply. May you also have a CV or curricula vitae. All right, it's actually a longer academic diary, okay, that include all of your experience, certificate, and publication. The average length of CV should be around 2 to 3 pages. Okay, compared to resume, you only provide 1 page, especially if you are fresh graduate. All right, employers do not have a strict requirement on CV length, but making the length of your 2 to 3 pages help the hiring manager digest your experience for the position they are hiring for. Basically, they want to know how how the experience that you get, how much the experience that you get, okay, so that they can make a decision whether they want to hire you or not. Of CV, okay, you can it's actually crammed with word, okay, by Anthony Brown, logistic manager. So personal summary of himself, and then his career history. All right, the duty specifically, and also other thing. Okay, basically you have to provide, like I said, maybe more than 3 pages. Okay. Okay, this is actually another sample of CV, okay, by Maxine Curry. Okay, personal summary, career history, financial accountant, employee's name, location, and duties responsible for managing a small accounting team and driving financial performance improvement across the business. Um, and other duties also, because of this is actually the diary of your career, so you must write more than 3 pages. Okay, and also the key skill and competency, your professionalism, if you have, for example, CILT and so on, you can put here, all right, to show this is actually your strength, together with your communication skill, maybe your disciplinary and so on, and what capability do you have. Okay, this is another extra information that you want to give in your CV. Okay, and you basically you can put the last aspect is your academic qualification in your CV. Compared to a resume, we put academic qualification in the above side of page. Okay. To conclude the lessons of this presentation, okay, first, to apply for the job, you must submit a cover letter or email cover letter. Okay, during the interview, usually you must bring a cover letter, a right resume for fresh graduate. Of if you're experienced, you should bring your CV or curricular vitae. All right, original certificate must be brought during the interview, including your academic qualification, your SPM cert, your diploma cert, extracurricular activities, and so forth, as evidence that you really have these certificates. Okay, each document has its purpose and what you need to highlight. Basically, for fresh graduate, of course, we don't look at your experience because you are fresh graduate, but then you can highlight your participation, okay, the extra activity that you did when you were a student. All right, but then for if you are experienced worker, you can use CV. All right, it can actually summarize all your experience, your qualification, and your capabilities when you were in the previous company. Okay guys, thank you. I think that's it for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.